You's a big fat dummy. Alright, so this chapter, I'm trying to think of the last thing that we stopped at. I think Red had just left Lavender Town, the last chapter. That was the last volume even. And now we start a new volume. This chapter was actually a lot of fun. It was it featured Red meeting Green, or I guess her name is Green. I don't know, whatever. In this, I guess she's Green, but I think she might have a different name. I don't know. But in this, she meets Green, and he's basically tricked by her multiple times, and she's not a very nice person, is what I think. So the main plot points of this is, in the very beginning, Red's Bulbasaur evolves into a Ivysaur, and that is an interesting thing, because it just kind of happens. There's no evolution process like they show in the games and then the show and whatever. So it's interesting that just like it happened. I don't know how he didn't notice it. It goes from Bulbasaur acting a little funny to a frame with Red looking at his Pokedex saying, "Congratulations, your Bulbasaur evolved," and then it pops back to then Ivysaur at that point. So it just kind of happens. But that's cool. He's got an Ivysaur now, so now he has 2 evolved Pokemon. 1 fully evolved Pokemon, Poliwrath, Ivysaur, and then he has a Pikachu. Then after he does that, after that happens, he gets tricked into buying a bunch of crap that he doesn't need. It's the Pokemon items, and he gets tricked by Green, basically, to buy all this stuff for $6,000. I don't know if that's a crazy ton in the Pokemon world. It's enough. I don't know. Either way, he gets tricked into buying all this crap he doesn't need, and none of it really works. So he's all huffy and puffy about that. He ends up running into her again as she's trying to swindle a bunch of other people. Chase ensues. She tries to get away, but he ends up stopping her using his newly caught Snorlax, which I guess he did catch. Motorcycle. The main point of her, though, is she's not a very nice person. She's not only tricking people into buying crap that they don't need and that doesn't work, but we also learn, or at least are meant to think, that she has stolen Pokemon herself. So after Ivysaur evolves, he talks to Professor Oak, and he talks about how, like, Blue's Charmander evolved into Charmeleon, and now Red's Bulbasaur evolved into Ivysaur, and now he's just waiting to hear about the Squirtle that was stolen from him. And at that point, Red had no idea that she had a Wartortle, and then he just kind of assumes maybe this is the Wartortle or Squirtle at the time that was stolen from Professor Oak. So probably is. I mean, I don't think that they would like set her up as being kind of a bad person and have a Wartortle and have it not be her that stole the Squirtle from Professor Oak. So it's got to be her. I like her. She's not a very nice person, but she's very smart, she's very cunning, and she's very, very tricky. She shows how she is like she's femme fatale kind of thing going on, where she is not a very good person. She's evil, to some degree anyways. She's mean anyways. She's tricking people into spending their money on her, and then when they try to like call her on it, she pulls like off the puppy dog eyes, and she gives them the, "Oh, I just wanted to see you, that's why I tricked you, I'm sorry," and then she runs, and then she bolts, and then she attacks them, and yeah, so she's not a very good person. And this chapter ends with her basically screwing Red over big time. So in the escape from Red, she ends up getting knocked out, I guess, or at least seemingly. He stops her, but he stops her, gets his money back, but not before he basically gets ripped off one final time, before he leaves. So during their battle, he's like, "Do you really think you could take on somebody that has 2 whole badges?" That apparently got her interest, and while she could have escaped without it being too much problem, she pretended like she was weaker. So as she was knocked out, she basically lifted his badges from him. And that's the end of the chapter, where it's just like, he realizes he don't got his badges anymore. And she's basically like, well, I could have gotten away from that, but as soon as he mentioned he's got some pretty valuable badges, I think I'm gonna take those. So then she stuck around for a little bit, and got some motorcycles going on. Let me just, but yeah, so basically it ends with he doesn't have his badges anymore, his 2 badges that he got from Brock and Misty. And also then she's got it, and they're gonna have to come back together at some point, and I'm sure he'll confront her about it. But like, I don't know, I like her a lot, even though she's so, like, I guess she's not a villain per se, but like, she's a good baddie, I guess. She's interesting. I think I will enjoy seeing her character more going further into the story. She doesn't seem as one-dimensional as some bad guys, I guess, could go. Like Koga in the last volume was so obviously, here he is, he's a bad guy. Same with Lieutenant Surge, where it's just like, they're big bad guys, whatever. But like her, there seems to be more dimensions to it, where it's just like, she's got her own business, and that business is basically ripping people off, so she's not a good person. Certainly not, especially since she stole Red's badges. But I get the feeling that she's going to have a turnaround. Like, this seems like one of those things where it's like, she will be kind of bad for the most part in the beginning, and then once she gets to know Red, he will be such a good influence on her that she will change her ways and reform, and at that point she'll give the badges back or something like that, and it'll all kind of resolve in its own way. But until then, it's super interesting to see Red meet somebody that is not necessarily evil. She's not part of an evil team as far as I know. But she's not a good person. She is a low-level criminal that seems to be doing well for herself, but she's got to keep tight here, because if she mentions how she doesn't like repeat customers, because those are the people are going to come back and they're going to be like, hey, give me back my money. So she's got to be a little careful here, but she seems smart. She's got a powerful War Turtle with her. War Turtle's pretty cool. I like War Turtle. Seems pretty cool to me. But yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see how Red and her kind of get along once things kind of settle. Because again, I definitely think that she's gonna kind of like reform and become a good person, I guess, to some degree. I think she'll always be kind of a jerk that's always like out to get a quick buck, but I definitely see them teaming up later on in the story. But yeah, so it's a very fun chapter. We got to see for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that Red did capture Snorlax. I feel like at the end of I could be remembering wrong, but I feel like at the end of that particular chapter, the bicycle race chapter, it wasn't conclusive that he caught Snorlax. It was just, he basically tricked Snorlax into following him all the way there, all the way to the end. But I guess he caught it. And he hasn't gotten a chance to train it yet, because he mentions how it's a low level. But yeah, I think it's, you know what? That's another interesting thing. He didn't even really battle with Snorlax. He basically like threw Snorlax, because she was trying to escape via a like, not a creek, but like a waterway, I guess. And he basically threw Snorlax past her in the Pokeball, I mean, he didn't throw Snorlax, but he threw Snorlax's Pokeball past her so that it would land in the waterway, splashing her out of the water, and that he can confront her. So he didn't really use Snorlax to fight her, but it's an interesting way to use Pokemon, I guess. I feel like I've been rambling a little bit here, but these are my thoughts on this chapter. I thought it was fun. I'm interested to see where Green goes with this. Green's a weird name for a character, but we shall see what happens. Well, that's all I gotta say. What do you guys think of this chapter? Leave a like if you enjoyed this chapter, and remember to subscribe, just to keep up with future videos if you haven't already. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite parts of this chapter. What do you think of Green? What do you think is going to happen? If you already know, don't say anything. No spoilers. But if you haven't already, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think about the character dynamics between Red and Green? I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.